that in the full picture? Do you think pop? I like pop.
I think pop, yeah. Yeah, pop probably looks the best.
It's that black.
Yeah. Okay, one of tonight's readings is called The Cranberry Fields.
What happens in the cranberry fields? I wonder. Let's see.
In the small, forgotten town of Eldon Ridge Hollow, the cranberry fields were a source of pride, at least. That's how it used to be. Every fall, the townsfolk would gather to harvest the ripe red fruit, relieving in the tart sweetness that signaled the arrival of the season. But one fateful autumn, something happened. Something changed. As the harvest approached, a strange frog rolled in, thick and suffocating. It clung to the ground like a shroud, obscuring the fields and casting an eerie pall over the town. Whispers spread. The wildfire. Old Miss Abrahorn, the town's oldest resident, had warned of a curse placed upon the cranberries decades ago. She spoke of a time when the land had been stained with blood, of a harvest gone wrong. Most dismissed her ramblings as delusions of a feral mind, but a few couldn't shake the feeling that she might be onto something. On the day of the harvest, a group of townfolks gathered in the field, led by the enthusiastic but oblivious Tom, the town's self-proclaimed leader. As they waded into the crimson pools, laughter filled the air. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the mood shifted. The laughter faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. The cranberries, once fried and inviting, now seemed to pulse with an unsettling energy. As darkness fell, an ominous chant echoed through the fog, drawing the townspeople deeper into the fields. "You've come to take what's ours," the voices hissed, rinsing from the very ground beneath their feet. Panic set in. Shadows began to swirl around them, twisting and contorting into creepy and ungodly creatures. One by one, the townsfolk began to disappear, swallowed by the mist, their screams muffled by the suffocating fog. Tom, realizing he was alone, frantically searched for a way out, his heart racing. In the distance, he spotted a flicker of light, a shimmering figure of a woman, her face obscured by the thickening fog. "Help me," he cried, stumbling toward her. But as he reached her, the light revealed a twisted grin etched on her face. "You wanted the harvest, Tom. Now you join the others." Her whisper, her voice dripping with malice, the ground beneath him trembling, and the cranberries began to rise, forming a wall of red that closed in around him. Tom, realizing too late that the curse was real. The cranberries were not merely fruit, they were the trapped souls of those who had dared to take from the land, commanded to guard their harvest for eternity. As the last glimmer of hope faded, the fog thickened, and the fields felt silent once more. Their bountiful harvest, now a graveyard for the greedy. In Edridge Hill, the cranberries fields lay untouched, the townsfolk long gone, laughter replaced by the whisper of the curse. And as autumn rolled around each year, the fog returned, eager to welcome new victims to the haunting legacy of the cranberries.
That was a good story about cranberries. I had to get some wood. That was a story about the cranberries and the cranberry patch.
The next one is a little bit darker. Some folks may not like this. I know I had a mixed feeling of writing it. It's about puppy killers.
Well.
It's supposed to have an empathetic point of view, but
Okay, you do that. I'm gonna try to get the fire warmer.
okay. Well, I could do the puppy killers, or oh, I know a good one for nighttime. And a lot of folks like these. They love these types of themes. Clowns. The clowns are coming in. Hello, how are you doing? Go, Leafs, go! We're gonna start our story soon. And I hope you, and if you do, you can go to Olivia's Stories with Olivia. But now, we're gonna do a story about killer clowns. Killer clowns, everyone's favorite. You just need to find it. Do you like clowns?
Everybody loves clowns.
They're fun and for everyone.
Go, Leafs, go. Unless they don't make the playoffs.
Who even likes them?
I wasn't gonna go that far. Just trying to poke fun. Now I'm gonna cry. Hello. My favorite hockey team is actually the Miami Heat.
Oh, yeah.
And when will the next reading be?
Shortly, when I figure out where the story even is. The story shall be about killer clowns.
Mom would like it.
Oh yeah, and Debbie would love this story.
Yeah. That was warm.
Okay. Oh good, you'll love this story then. The echo after. The old Henderson building loomed at the end of Willow Street, its broken windows and peeling paint telling tales of neglect. Veins snaked their walls. Veins snaked their way back across the brick facade, reclaiming what had once been vibrant. Locals' legends, whispers of the cursed structure, where laughter mingled with screams in the dead of night. Few dared to enter, but not tonight. A group of thrill-seeking four friends decided to test their courage against the building's haunted reputation. As they stepped inside, the air was thick, with musty and a scent of decay. The door creaked ominously behind them, the sound of echoing a warning. Flashlights flickered in the dimly lit corridors, casting dancing shadows on the walls painted with graffiti. Expression of rebellion and madness. Let's go check out the second floor, Jessica suggested, her voice tinged with excitement. The others nodded, the bravado masking a growling unease. They climbed the stairs, each step echoing loudly in the silence. On the second floor, they found remnants of an earlier time. Tattered curtains swaying gently like specters, furniture draped with dust and cobwebs. But it was the sound that stuck with them, a soft, childlike giggling echoing through the air. Did you hear that? Mark's voice trembled as he shined his flashlight beam towards the sound. The beam of light illuminated a vacant room at the end of the corridor. The giggling came again, this time laced with sinister qualities. Probably just a raccoon or something, Tara said, her voice faltering, but even she couldn't hide the tremor of fear. Let's go see, Jessica urged, stepping towards. The others hesitated, but followed, drawn by a mix of dread and curiosity. As they entered the room, it felt colder. The air seemed to thicken, wrapping around them like an unwelcome embrace. In the center of the room stood an old crooked mirror, surface tarnished and dark. As they approached, the giggling intensified. A sympathy of laughter and undulating whispers swirling in the air. Okay, this is getting weird, Mark said, backing away. But before he could retreat, something flickered near. A face. Grinning wide, painted in old, tattered colors. It was its skin white like bone, lips painted a bloody red, and eyes large, unblinking, and full of menace. Who's there? Jessica demanded, her voice crackling and trembling in fear. The laughter erupted around them, echoing off the walls as if shadows began to run around the rooms of the corner, twisting in the forms that danced and carpeted with a nightmarish joy. Suddenly, a chorus of clowns emerged from the darkness, their painted faces contorted into manic grins, laughter spilling from their lips like poison. Panic surged as the friends turned to leave, but the door, it slammed shut, trapping them inside. The clowns closed in, the movements jerky and unsettling, as if they were puppets operated in invisible strings. Each held twisted balloons shaped into nightmarish creatures, snakes, spiders, and skulls. Come play with us, one of them shrieked, its voice high-pitched and ting. Another clown lunged toward, juggling rusty knives, each clanking against the floor like the ticking of a clock, counting down their doom. Think they want us to join this? Tara gasped, her breath hitching in her throat. Shut up, Mark snapped, but his brave ignorance was gone, replaced with with the raw terror. They banged on the door, but the laughter drowned out their cries. It filled the room with dread. It grew louder, mocking them, as if their very essence of fear was feeding the clowns delight. Jessica spotted a window behind the mirror. We can escape through there, she shouted, racing towards it, scrambling. She pushed against the window, but it wouldn't budge. Sealed by years of neglect. The clowns circled closer, their laughter changed to disgruntled melody, a twisted song on this that seeped into their minds. Join us, join us, join us, they chanted, their eyes glinting with hunger that sent chills down her spine. Mark, driven to desperation, charged at the clowns, but they were swift, dodging and weaving like phantoms. He rolled, falling to the ground, and the clowns converged, their laughter roaring like tempest. A dark figure emerged from the shadows, a larger clown with a mullet, its grin wide and teeth sharp. Playtime, sir, it growled, lifting the mallet. The friends screamed, mingled with laughter. A final, horrifying echo through the abandoned building. The lights flickered and plunged them into darkness. The Henderson building stood silence once more, its whispers and laughter absorbed into the walls, awaiting the next group of adventurers to draw near. And in the depths of the fading light, the clowns remain, a promised terror, forever echoing through the night. Yeah, so
That was the story about.
Terrif-
That was the story about killer clowns.
yes, killer clowns.
Are you making the story, Jessica, or is it just doing that?
It's just doing that.
That's funny. That was a good one.
Thank you.
I think
You guys enjoy?
Brick Eater. I lived it. It was a spooky. It was a spooky story. That's cool. That's good for you. Like, not that sounded really shitty. And that's good for my sibling because that was cool. I like it for them. That sounded like such a dickhead, eh? I sounded like such a dickhead there.
Should I do another?
Yeah, what kind of spooky story now?
Thank you. I'm gonna do a channel. Yeah. Okay. Just give me a second and I can find more. I love to write stories, and I mean, it's been a while, but you know, gotta practice.
They'll probably be making a dedicated channel for it at some point, and then that will be pretty cool to do.
It would be. This one is about a zoo
A zoo.
exploring at night. So I don't remember. It's been a while. Night at the zoo. The moon hung high in the clear star-studded sky, casting an eerie glow over the sprawling grounds of Willow Creek Zoo. Shadows danced between the enclosures. The faint rustle of leaves whispered secrets only the night could hold. A group of 4 teens, indulged by the thrill of adventure, dared each one to explore the zoo after dark. The air thick with the scent of damp earth and the animal calls. Let's check out the big cats, Jenna proposed, her voice a mix of excitement and fear. The others nodded, their adrenaline pumping. They crept through the gates, which creaked anonymously behind them, sealing them into a world where the familiar became of shadows. As they moved past the lions, a low growl rumbled from within. Their laughter faded, replaced by a nervous silence. They're probably just hungry, Ryan joked, but a real chill ran down his spine. When he glanced back at the darkened enclosure, the glint of eyes watching them from the shadows felt too real, too intense. Let's go to the observatory, suggested Lisa, trying to shake off the unsettling atmosphere. They followed her, the path winding through the eerie silence, interrupted only by a flutter of wings, the distance of echo of a howler monkey. Each step brought some more tension and tension. The tension had filled the air, and it became too thick, as if the zoo itself was holding its breath. Inside the observatory, they marveled at the surreal embrace. The moonlight filtered through the mesh, casting ghostly patterns on the ground within. Suddenly, a loud crash jumped. They huddled together, hearts racing. The sound came from the directions of the reptile house. What was that? Whispered Mark, his bravado slipping. Let's check it out, Ryan urged, more to mask his own fear than out of genuine curiosity. The group hesitated, but eventually followed, drawn by a dread and thrill. The reptile house loomed ahead, its windows dark and forbidding. As they approached, Jenda noticed a flicker of movement, a shadow darkening between the cages. Did you see that? She gasped, pointing with trembling fingers. The others Cage glances uncertainly growl at their courage. It's probably just a lizard or something, Mark said, but he didn't sound convinced. As they stepped inside, the air grew colder. The smell of damp earth and things sour filled their nostrils. They scanned the enclosures, the glass fogging up with their anxious breath. Suddenly, the lights flickered, a heartbeat of hope in the enveloping darkness. And then they went out, panicked and stay close, Lisa shouted, her voice barely cutting through the thick veil of darkness. They fumbled in the blackness, each feeling the presence of lurking just beyond their reach. The silence was oppressed, and whispers began to swirl in their minds, creeping beneath the surface of fear. Did you hear that? Ryan's voice quivered. His brave demeanor shattered as he felt something brushed against his leg. What was that? The sound of heavy breathing filled the space, an unnatural sound that didn't belong to any creature they knew. Run! Jenna screamed, and they bolted towards the exit, their hearts pounding like war drums in the dead of night. But the past stood, disorienting them as the familiar turned foreign. The whispers grew louder, wrapping them around the vines, suffocating them with unseen terror. Finally, bursting out into night, they collapsed onto the grass, gasping for air. But as they looked back, the zoo loomed behind them, an inexplicable beast, its dark deepening, ready to swallow their screams whole. They were free, but something had followed them into a night, lingering shadow in their minds, a terror that would never fade. The zoo had opened its gates, and now it would never let them go.
That was a good one.
Thank you. I like the clown one a little bit more.
Yeah, the killer clown story was better.
Well, I think that was one against us.
Woo!
And their opinion is more important than ours. Because, I mean, it was good.
What about a gumball?
Thank you. A gumball?
Yeah.
It'd be cool to make a story about a gumball. My favorite things are horror stories, but if I do want to let you know, if I make a channel, I mean, I'm going to make a lot of horror stories. They're also not all horror.
Can I make one?
Yep. I think I'm going to be doing either stories with Olivia or stories read by Olivia. I think I created the account, but I just literally just made the channel name. Gonna make a bunch of stories.
That'll be cool.
Yep. Yeah, I love story too. I love watching a bunch of different creators on YouTube. My favorite currently has been my favorites are horror and romance fair. I've watched a lot of horror. I listen and read a lot of horror. I don't think I did romance, fantasy too. I love listening to One Dude Southern Cannibal. Still, one of my favorites is Corpse Husband. And Mr. Nightmare is a good one, too. Yeah, I like fantasy, fiction, nonfiction. I've been writing one for the last, I started writing one when I was, 12 or 13. It's not a horror story, and if I do it on YouTube, it might be parts, because it's currently at 20,000 words, 60 pages, and it's not finished. I'm going to turn it into a chapter book. I'm currently in the midst of editing it. I don't have ADHD. I'm different. Oh, I'm glad, because either it's gonna be posted or do you want to one day make a story, like book? Be cool to like go to like in a physical copy my own book. I had my dreams set high as a kid. That was like one of my dreams, to have my own book in my own hands, and I will make that one day. Okay.
So we are getting ready for the next ring.
So, oh yeah, I remember reading. It's been a while, but I remember this one. Oh, that's cool. Comic books. Honestly, comic books are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, comic books are cool. I'm more of a 3D artist than a 2D artist.
I tried making comic books. It didn't go well because I had 30 million plans. Okay. The Road of Shadows. Chapter 1. The ominous warning. Oh, that was water. That was good timing. That scared me. The ominous warning. Todd had always been a creature of habit. Every morning he took the same route to work, a 2-lane road that wound through an endless forest. The trees stood like sentinels. They growl.
Sound it out. I'm sorry, I just had to.
Growled branches crawling at the sky. But lately something had shifted in the air. A heaviness that weighed on his chest and sent shivers down his spine. As he pulled out of his driveway, his neighbors, Mrs. Hargrove, stood by her fence, her eyes wide with fear. Todd, you be careful on that road, she warned, her voice trembling like the leaves in a storm. I've seen things that shouldn't be there. Todd chuckled nervously, dismissing her words as the ramblings of an old woman. He had grown up in this town and had heard all its ghost stories. Monsters lurked in the shadows, but they were just tales meant to frighten children, right? The car roared to life, its engine purring as he shifted into gear, but as he drove down the familiar path, unexpected dread shifted through him, crawling at his mind like a frantic animal. Chapter 2. The first encounter. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting englated shadows across the atmosphere. When Todd first noticed it, a figure, a silhouette, standing beside the road. It was a woman, her displaced hair blowing round her in the wind. He slowed down, unsure if he should stop. "Help me," her voice cried, her voice and haunting echoing against the stillness of the trees. But before Todd could react, the leaves rustled violently, and the woman vanished in the underbrush. Startled, he pressed the accelerator. Just a sudden jolt sent his car skidding to the side. The wheel jerked under his grip, and he barely managed to regain control. "What the hell was that?" he muttered, glancing in the rearview mirror. There was nothing behind him, just the roads stretching endlessly into the darkness. Chapter 3. The vanishing days turned into weeks, and the strange sightings continue. He saw the same woman at various points along the road, her tire tattered and soaked in shadows. Each time she seemed closer, her voice became a siren song, echoing in his ears. One evening, as dusk swallowed the horizon, Todd's car sputtered anonymously. He pulled over, cursing under his breath. The engine let out a rattling cough, and the interior lights flickered. Suddenly, he heard it, the sound of footsteps crunching on the gravel. He turned his head to see the woman standing beside his window, her eyes hollow and sunken. "You shouldn't be here, Todd," she whispered, her voice dripping with urgency. "They're coming for you. You need to leave now." Before he could register her words, a monstrous growl erupted from the depths of the forest. The sound was murderous, visceral, ungodly, as though the ground itself was torn as under. The woman's expression shifted, her fear replaced with urgency, and she bolted into the woods, disappearing as if she never existed. In panic, Todd turned the key in the ignition, but the car wouldn't start. Desperation clawed at him as the growl grew louder, vibrating through the metal frame of the car. Chapter 4. The chase. He slammed the steering wheel, his heart racing. Thoughts spiraled through his mind. He could see shadows darting between the trees, forming shapes that twisted and morphed. Suddenly, the headlights flickered, illuminating a massive figure emerged from the underbrush. It was a car. No, it was more than that. It was a grotesque monster, compressed of a twisted metal and shattered glass. Its engine roaring with a fury. The headlights glowed ominously, piercing through the encroaching darkness like a predator's eyes. "Get out!" a voice echoed from the depths of the creature, deep and thunderous. Todd, gripped by fear, flung the door open and stumbled out. The moment his hit hit the ground, the monstrous vehicle lunged forward, tires screeching against the gravel. He bolted into the woods, branches slapping against his face as he ran, hearing the monstrous car revving behind him, its hunger palpable. Chapter 5. The Hunt. The forest twisted and turned, a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. He could hear the grinding of a metal and the roar of the engine. This was no ordinary vehicle. It was alive, and it was hunting him. "Help me! Somebody help me!" he shouted, but his voice was swallowed by the darkness. The trees loomed over him, their branches like claws reaching out as though they were part of the creature itself. Suddenly, Todd stumbled upon a clearing, moonlight spilling over the ground like liquid silver. In the center stood an old, rusty vehicle, its windshield shattered and its tires half buried in the earth. It looked abandoned, but something about it pulled him closer. He could hear the growl of the monster closing in, its engine roaring. Frantically, he stumbled into the old car, hoping against hope that it would still work. He fumbled with the engine, praying for a miracle. Chapter 6. The Final Stand. The monster's car emerged from the trees, tires spinning in a cloud of dirt and gravel. It was a beast of horror, its body grotesque and deformed, with twisted shapes that seemed to shift and withered. Todd's heart raced as he turned the key, praying that something would happen. The engine sputtered to life, a feeble roar against the monster that had been outside. It advanced the headlights, illuminating the clearing with the eerie glow. "You can escape," the voice echoed, mocking and dark. Todd gritted his teeth, slamming his foot down on the accelerator. The car lunged forward, but the monstrous vehicle was darker, darting towards him with an insatiable hunger. Chapter 7. Into the Abyss. With adrenaline cruising through his veins. Todd swerved the old vehicle, narrowly avoiding the monstrous jaws of the metal snapped at him. He could feel the heat of the engine behind him, the air thick with the scent of burning rubber. The chase was relentless, a spiraling decade against the sides of the car. But he cheered through the branches slashing against the sides of the car. The monstrous entire entity ever closer. The headlights of the beast glinted off the trees, transforming the night into a hellish landscape. Just as despair threatened to choke him, he remembered Miss Harvingrove's warning. The roads hold secrets, she said. Maybe there was a way to turn the tide. Chapter 8. The Reckoning. In a sudden burst of clarity, Todd veered off the winding path and onto an over trail, hoping for an escape. The monster followed relentlessly, its growls echoing in the night as it chased him, deep into the forest. As he raced forward, a memory flickered in his mind, details of an ancient spirit that roamed the woods, a guardian of the lost. If the stories held any truth, perhaps he could summon aid. Panic and determination surged through him as he shouted into the night, invoking the spirit, begging for help against the mechanical fiend that pursued him. In a shock, the air thickened, swirling around him, and the ground trembled. Trees shredded, their branches reaching out as if alive, and the monster reached in fury behind him. Chapter 9. Confrontation. Suddenly, the forest erupted in a atmosphere of sound. A whirlwind of energy engulfed the clearing, and from the shadows a figure emerged, a spectacle form withered in lights, its eyes burning with ancient wisdom. "Leave this place," it commanded, its voice resenting through the very marrow of Todd's bones. The monstrous car skidded to a halt, its engine sputting as the spirit persisted in lope. "No!" the voice roared, trembling with despair. The ground shook as the spirit clashed with the metal beast. A battle of unreal light against twisted metal. In a moment, Todd understood. The road was a battleground, a place where lost souls came entwined with the darkness of the forest, entirely haunted by the very things they had once driven. Chapter 9. The Dawn of Hope. As the battle raged, Todd felt a shift within him, a spark of courage enlightening his heart. The spirit's voice filled with the strength and urging him to confront his fears. He stepped forward, claiming his agency against the darkness. "Enough!" he shouted, his voice reverberating through the trees as he raised his hands. "You don't own me." With that proclamation, he felt a surge of warmth, a strength that pushed against the cold, tender drills of fear. The monstrous car shrieked, its form deteriorating in agony as the spirit's light engulfed it, spiting the darkness around. Chapter 11. The road ahead. The forest grew still. The echoes of battling faded into haunting silence. The spirit turned to Todd, its gaze softening. "You have faced your fears and chosen the path of light. Now the road is yours to travel." As dawn broke, golden rays pierced through the trees, illuminating the remnants of the battle. The monstrous entity was gone, a whisper of darkness fading into a memory. With a heart full of hope, Todd stepped back onto the road, the familiar path now embalmed with a sense of purpose. He had forced the shadow and emerged victorious. Transformed by the terror he had endured, as the sun rose, casting warmth across the land, Todd drove away, leaving behind the echoes of fear. The road ahead of him was his to claim, a journey into the light where monsters could no longer hold sway. Okay, I need to get water. It's done. The song story. The song.
Oh god, that's good. Did you
Oh, and thank you. Thank you very much.
That was a good story.
I need to go get a drink now because my voice is starting to feel cracky.
Oh, well
But
deserved.
I'm glad somebody appreciates my
I
voice.
appreciated it. I just didn't say
Love
that.
the spooky voice. Thank you. You did not. You
I didn't.
don't normally like my,
I mean, but I do them too, so it's just normal for me.
and I appreciate it. Let me check. I can see. I mean, I could probably do more, but I generally need water because I'm
Yeah, go get a drink.
doing a lot of words coming out of my mouth. And the voices don't help, but I love doing them.
Yes. The narrator will be back in about 2 minutes. Probably not even that long. Maybe 5. Or 1. Yeah, we can't put a time on it. That would mean commitment. Is it warm where you are, Brick Eater? It is definitely not warm here. Well, it is because of the fire. Same. It is chilly. That's a very good way to put it. But you know what? It's only gonna get worse. But only for like a couple months. It's a yo-yo. It's like a yo-yo, you know? You know, because you're from here. Yep.
Just give me good.
Snow.
What?
The snow is fun.
The snow is fun?
Yeah, Ricky likes the snow.
Oh, okay.
They're from this place called Canada.
I've never heard of it. Is it near Ontario? I'm kidding.
Confidence.
I am getting. Why is screen recording? Video. Oh, screen recording. Screen recording video saved to photos. I'm gonna bother with that later. I don't know what was being recorded. Though that was the red that was above my phone.
Were you just recording for a while?
Apparently so. No audio probably was recorded, but that's okay.
Okay, so are we going back to story time?
We can, and I'm gonna look at some of my short stories.
Putting in work.
I know, eh?
It's so calm out.
It is.
What time is it?
9:21.
Wow, it's so much earlier than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say midnight. Now I don't feel so bad for putting wood on the fire. Get more. See, you have an important job, and I have an important job with getting wood.
Exactly. You get the wood, and I do story time.
And I have, like, be entertaining when you're not there. I might get a drink too, actually. Maybe a snack.
Snack time. Ben.
Yeah, so the last story was about a monster car, and I think it was 5,000 words.
No, 10. Just 1,000 apparently.
Okay, good. I did change it.
I think this one is going to be one of my short story ones.
Cool. So this one's one of the old ones that you did?
And your job, yes, you have the most important job. It's to watch.
Yes, I like that.
Okay, this is a very like short story. I don't even think there's more than 100 words, if that.
So it's a rare one.
Or I just haven't finished it. I don't know. We'll figure that out together. The last refugee. Oh no! Oh my god! I said that wrong word. I don't know what word I meant to say. The last refuge. Todd stood into the abandoned cabin, its rotting wood creaking like whispers of the damned. Outside, the sky burned crimson, an apocalyptic unfolding. Shadows danced on the walls, flickering like dying embers, and he sensed eyes watching him. A chill crawled down his spine as he realized he was not alone. Something ancient awaited him in the darkness. I know why I didn't finish that one.
Was that it?
Yep.
Do you like my acting?
I do.
I'm just acting. I was doing that before too. I don't know if you noticed. When you were reading someone else.
No, I liked that one. The other one. I could make a. That sounds like a good idea. I'll keep that in mind, like to make a story about a evil brick eater.
There you go.
That'll be the next one I write. How about that? And you know what? It'll be my next one that I write, and it'll be the first one I put on my. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say it's the first one I put on because I don't know. I could make a story onto my channel tomorrow. Actually, before I get started, I do want to see. Sorry, the ADHD's kicking in a little bit, so I want to check out if I did set up that channel or not.
Still my customer.
Yep. You're welcome. Okay, sign. Oh yeah, stories with Olivia. Yes, you are the evil brick eater. This is the profile picture for it. For now, it's an old cat, but literally, I'm gonna make that, and then one day, I will, if I remember, I will try to remember. You know what? I'm gonna take a photo, and then you're gonna just randomly get a tag one day, because I will tag you in the story that I post. Okay, let me find the story.
Brick eater.
Nom nom nom. Welcome to story time.
Okay, no problem. I'm stealing your subscribers or your viewers.
I mean, you're the one entertaining them.
Yeah, I'm the one that's killing my voice right now.
Okay.
Mwah, I agree. Wait, sorry.
Just gotta see if it's charging. It is. Good for us. It is charging.
It's okay, my hand's kind of a little bit freezing right now.
You don't need hands to read.
Yeah.
Should I do one?
Do you want to do?
I wanted to do one, but not like right at this moment, because like it seems like a good idea. But I mean, you've done like 3, so I feel like I should.
I'm finding another one, so.
Okay, you do one, and then I'll do another one. I'll do it.
It's yours.
Need more?
Wood?
I started grabbing a different plant. This is the stuff that's not going to fit in the wood stove.
Okay.
I figured get bigger chunks of wood.
Yeah, I can show it again. I don't know. I should actually be up. Stories with Olivia. And there's a kitty. Oh, thank you. You will be my first subscriber. Because somebody else has it. Yeah, you get a virtual cookie.
You didn't tell me that you have a channel.
I did, thank you. You can't be. It's literally right in the whole screen.
Did not tell me.
It might be so new that you might not be able to find it right now. Like,
Story time, story time, story time. Can I make your intros? Can I be like an intro video?
sure.
Like your sound, and it'll be like story time, story time, story time.
I think that's something. Story time, story time, story. What am I thinking that from?
Mail time, mail time, mail time.
Yeah, thank you. I was thinking that was, yay, my first subscriber. I think yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Did you see me on there? Or was it blacked out?
It was blacked out.
Okay, I'll go to the other side.
I'll let you know if you can see. Thank you very much. Yeah, I can't even. It's not even a shadow that's moving. Would you like to hear another story? Because I might read one, and then the guy who technically owns this channel, I think is Brenda, is gonna try to read one after. No, lower.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the tip of your jacket. If you move that one board, you might be able to see you. Move a little bit to that way. Down. Yeah, you can see him.
I do that though?
Yeah,
Wow. Someone probably just danced like this.
yeah, you were.
But they probably just seen like this.
You see your hands really because of the white.
So I'll just do this then. I'm trying to make like faces and stuff.
This one is about an abandoned zoo. But there's a twist. So spooky hands they are. Whispers of the Forgotten Zoo. The sun hung low in the smoky sky, a muted orange orb barely piercing the thick haze that had fallen over the world like a shroud. 10-year-old Lily, clutching her tattered teddy bear. It's one bright teddy bear. It once bright fur matted with dirt. As she stepped through the rusted gates of the zoo, a place she had only heard about in the hushed whispers of the fellow survivors. The air was heavy with the scent of decay and despair, a reminder of the world had crumbled outside. Once vibrant enclosures, now stirred as ghost remnants of the past, crackled glass and twisted metal surrounded her, like the skeletal remains of a forgotten civilization. As she ventured deeper, enclosures of the echoes of her tiny footsteps bounced off the crumbling walls, each sound amplified, making her heart race. "Hello?" she called, her voice trembling in the stillness. The only reply was the distant rustle of leaves, a lingering reminder of the life that had once thrived here. She paused beside the lion's den, the stone walls entwined with vines and filth. An eerie chill swept through her as she imagined the powerful beast that had roamed these grounds. now mere shadows of their former glory. Lily, adventurous spirit, thrived amidst the wreckage, but an unsettling feeling collided in her stomach. She moved past the empty cages, each one a haunting void where vibrant creatures had once lived. The air was thick with something unnameable, a primal fear that whispered warnings of what looked beyond her sight. As she approached the monkey enclosure, a sudden movement caught her eye. A flicker of something pale darted behind the twisted branches, and Lily's heart leaped into her throat. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice barely a breath. Silence answered, but then came a soft chuckle, like the rustling of the wind, a child's voice, yet so chilling. "Come play with us." It beckoned, the words dripping with sweetness that turned sour in her ears. Lily's skin prickled as she strained to peer into the shadows, but swallowed the light, and the voice faded into the rustling leaves, leaving her alone again. Determined to find the source, she pressed on, the grip on her teddy bear tightening. The path led to the old reptile house, its glass shattered, exposing the dank interior. A shiver ran down her spine, and the air grew colder, far colder, than the outside world. She felt an uncomfortable pull towards the darkness, like a thread of curiosity weaving through her fear. Just then, the chuckle came again, sharper now, echoing from the depths of the building. "We're waiting," it sang, a chorus of voices that twisted her gut. Each note crawled under her skin, urging her to turn back. But Lily, brave in her innocence, stepped forward. Inside, she stumbled upon remnants of cages, old, rusted, and empty. The shadows danced along the walls, flickering in the dim light, and then she saw them, pale figures emerging from the darkness, children with hollow eyes and skin stretched too tight against their bones. "Why did you come here?" they chorused, their voice a haunting mellow of sorrow and anger. "This is our home now." Lily's breath hitched, her voice pounding as their smiles turned sharp and predatory. Panic surged through her, urging her to flee, but the way out was a labyrinth of shadows and despair. As the world outside crumbled, the zoo pulsed with an unsettling life, and the chill of the forgotten beckoned her deeper into the abyss. The whispers grew louder, drowning her in the chilling embrace as the gates of sanity closed behind her. She was no longer just a visitor. She had become part of the haunting tale, lost to the echoes of apocalyptic nightmare. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it's really helping build the confidence back up. Oh, I think the other guy left. Okay, my brother. So, we'll keep reading. Well, read another, I guess to say. I will say I am going to come to an end on reading these soon because my throat is starting to hurt, but I will keep reading some more because I am quite enjoying this as well. Oh, thank you. Yes, I don't... Okay. Oh. The Toy Apocalypse. In a world once vibrant and laughter and joy, The remnants of childhood lay scattered across the crackled pavement. The air, thick with a malic tang, whispered tales of a unfathomable disaster. Neon colors had faded into grim. It was of brown and gray, and the sky, once azure, now hung heavy with dark clouds, threatening to spew forth a storm that would cleanse the earth of its sins. Amidst the debris of a playground, a ragtag army of old, damaged toys lay dormant until they stirred. Broken dolls with missing limbs and half-torn clothes glared with sunken, unseeing eyes. A plush bear, its fur matted with dirt. One button eye, miraculously stitched into place, stood sentinel over the gathering. They had been neglected, tossed aside in the chaos of humanity's end, but now they were awakening. Wind howled, carrying with it the whispers of the lost children, beckoning the toys to rise. With a shudder, an uneary creaking, and rag dolls began to move, their joints stiff and creaking like old hinges. The bear, now the leader, called out, its voice haunting rasp.
We have been abandoned. Let rot like this forsaken world. But we are more than mere playthings. We will reclaim what was taken from us.
The toys, with their frayed edges and broken hearts, began to crawl towards the remnants of a once cherished home. With every inch they moved, the ground shook as if responding to the long-forgotten power. Each step echoed with the memory of laughter, taken by a chilling silence. A thick fog enveloped the landscape, obscuring the ruins of houses and toys alike. The toys pressed onward, driven by an insatiable hunger for compassion and revenge. Their past was strewn with remnants of their old lives. Rusted bikes, shattered glass, and dusty remains of dolls that had once basked in the sunlight. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught their eye. A shadow darted past the edge of the playground, and the bear raised its voice.
Who goes there?
The fog swirled, revealing more toys, shattered toys, their plastic body wrapped in twisted eyes glaring their frequency. They too had awakened. An eerie tension crackled in the air as the two factions faced each other, each carrying the weight of their own despair and anger. The old toys, with patches of frayed fabric, stood defiantly, while the soldiers brandished broken weapons, their plastic edges glinting ominously in the gloom. The air was thick with anticipation. It was a standoff of forgotten souls. We are remnants of childhood cursed. To the bear witnessed to humanity's foul, the bear growled, its voice a low rumble. The soldiers lunged forward, their broken limbs moving with a frantic urgency. War erupted in the twilight, the sound of clashing plastic echoing through the desolate landscape. The toys fought with a fear born to betrayal, each class resonating with the memories of joy turned to terror. As the chaos unfolded, the ground trembled beneath their feet, and the sky pouring torrents of rain that seemed to wash away the remnancy of their past. The toys, battered and bruised, found themselves overwhelmed, consumed by the darkness of their own despair. The world had forsaken them, and now they were trapped in an endless cycle of vengeance and sorrow. In the end, as the last echo of the battlefield, the playground stood silent once more. A single tattered teddy bear laid upon the ground, its button eye missing, staring up at the darkened sky. The toys had awakened, only to realize they were still bound by the chains of their own creation, a haunting reminder of the world that had been lost forever in the apocalypse of the live toys. I think my voice is gonna hurt a lot tomorrow because I've been doing a lot of voices and changing my voice to read this.
Only been talking for an hour straight.
Yeah, like
No, that's pretty good. Yeah, you might be feeling it tomorrow, but
my throat's already getting a little sore.
yeah.
But you know what? Thank you. Thank you. And how, like, and I'm trying to think if I continue doing voices, you know, like deepening, and I don't think I'm gonna really try little girl, little boy, old man type thing because I don't think I could do that, but you know, like the
I know all the secrets that are within, even the past and from the present.
I was trying to do some sound effects.
I know. I was trying to ignore you
I
because it
know.
was distracting me.
I know it was going to, but at the same time, I wanted to keep going because it kind of added to it, but I didn't want to add too much. I didn't know if people...
Do you want to do one?
I'm
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad they were sleigh.
kind of... kind of scared that I'm gonna, like, scare off. My idea...
Yeah, so Brenda, aka the channel creator, will be doing a story for us because I need a break.
To give my sibling a break, I will be doing the reading, so I hope that doesn't scare you off.
I'll find you a story that you can read.
Thank you.
I won't make it long. I'll find one of the small
I
ones.
was gonna give you a 5,000 one.
That would not be nice. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I didn't realize how long it would be. The 500 ones are pretty short.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
I'm kidding. This one has 250 words, Brennan.
What am I, baby? I'm kidding.
2,000? I can find you one with
250,000 words?
Yeah.
That would be a little bit of words. I've probably, you know. it's
Or
not
can
bad.
find one smaller than 250.
That's okay.
Okay.
But not 250,000, right?
You'll see.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. Okay, everybody. This is there a title to this story? I'm not sure if the creator has titled the story.
The title of the story,
Is that
A Moonlight Feast.
A Moonlit Feast? In a world where the moon hung low and luminous, a colossal wheel of cheese glimmered in the night sky, tantalizing the creatures below. For Morty and a timid mouse with the fur color of ash, the moon was just a big paradise and a prison. Each night, Morty would gaze upwards, entranced by its creamy surface, its holes the size of dreams. It whispered promises of endless feasts and a life unshadowed by the claws of fate. Yet, as he scurried through, he felt... No, this feels weird. He felt the gnawing dread that came with hunger. His fellow mice spoke of the moon's power, but those who dared climb never returned. Under the eerie light, Morty desired the twisty... Sorry.
I know it's weird to.
It is very
doing
weird.
good.
Thank you. One faithful. Sorry. Okay. One faithful evening, he gathered the courage, began his ascent, each step filled with anticipation and terror. The moon's surface felt warm beneath his tiny paws. The accent aged, the scent aged, the scent of aged enveloped him. But something lurked. That unseen force, a cold breath that sent shivers down his spine. As he feasted, shadows danced to him, whispering and twisting the truth. You are but just a little mousy, they hissed. A pawn in a cosmic game. Morty's heart pounded as he felt the cheese beneath his feet quiver. The once tempting moon shifted, revealing not just a deliciousness, but a grotesque, big-ass monster. With a jolt, Morty realized the horror he was standing upon. He was not just eating, the moon was consuming him. Panic surged within him, but it was too late. The cheese turned into a sticky. Morty was enamored, and the phantom of his former self, destined to feed the very hunger he sought beside the moon. Once his dream was to eat the moon, and then he got eaten by the moon. The end. Was it good?
I liked it. It was good.
Thank you. That was a really interesting story.
Yay! Wait, sorry. Yay!
That's a very interesting one.
Exactly, evil cheese moon.
Okay.
Fire is great for.
Oh yeah, that is so warm now.
I know. Like, that's a good piece of wood. Ones are, like, really freezing.
Okay. Evil cheese moon.
Big fire, yep.
Big warm fire.
Yeah, it's gonna get nice and warm. You know, the only thing that's not warm are my hands right now.
What should I look up? What should I see if there's a story about? Because sometimes there's cool stories to find.
Yeah, some shouldn't be named, and I agree with that. I'm not at all a pirate maniac.
It's really
We'll be under these short announcements.
just one quick break. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, we can check that out. The other half of this fire broadcast is currently on the phone, so obviously they can check it out. I'm waving my hand, trying to make a point. But yeah, for sure, we could do something like that. We could check that out. Sorry, we were just taking a break. I was just muting it. We're taking a phone call. But yeah, sorry about that. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood around here. Anyway. Nice night out. Okay, we're back, and we're gonna continue the reading night with a story called The Great Flood of Felix the Beaver. And we begin. Once upon a time, in a lush green valley nestled between towering mountains, there lived a clever beaver named Felix. Felix was no ordinary beaver. He was far and wide. His unmatched talent in a dam building, his craftsmanship was so unexpected. Sorry. His craftsmanship was so expectational that animals from all corners of the valley would come to see what he was building. However, Felix had a secret that nobody else knew about. He dreamt of building the biggest dam in the world. One crisp autumn day, Felix decided that it was time to turn his dream into reality. He envisioned a dam so grand that it would create a vast lake, complete with shimmering water and a thriving ecosystem. And the first leaves began to fall. He began to work, and he gathered branches and stones and anything he could find from the valley. With each day, Felix toiled away. Minor technical difficulties. Minor. With each day, Felix toiled away, expertly stacking logs into a strong interstructure. Wood spread throughout the forest, and other animals watched with a mix of enthusiasm and trepidation. That's a big word. The rabbits admired Felix's diligence, while the fish in the river murmured about the potential change and what could be coming. But little did they know, Felix's ambitions had big consequences. Felix day and night, and soon the dam was complete, a towering barrier that stretched across the river. As he stood back to admire his work, the valley fell silent. The water, which once danced freely, cooled up behind the dam. Felix was elevated. His dream was coming true. The water rose higher and higher, filling the valley with a sense of wonder and beauty. As days passed, the lake expanded, attracting animals from far and wide. Felix was Felix was a hero, a visionary who had transformed the landscape. Birds settled and newly formed trees along the shore, with fish flourishing and the deep waters. Felix felt invincible. However, while Felix reveled in his achievement, he failed to notice the streams brewing in the mountains. As winter approached, torrential rain began to fall. The river swelling with the deluge. It's a weird word, but I think it means the runoff.
I think so. It does mean that.
And the water behind Felix's dam rose unexpectedly high. Despite warnings from the wise old owl. I'm sorry, I can't focus. Despite warnings from the wide old owl who warned Felix of nature's fury, Felix remained diligent and wanted to make his dam the biggest dam that Earth has ever seen. Perfect timing. One faithful night, as winds howled and the rain poured down in torrential, Felix woke to a chilling sound, a loud crack that echoed through the valley. In an instant, he realized the truth. The magnificent dam was in danger. Driven by instinct, Felix raced to the tide gate, but it was too late. The dam, overwhelmed by the resilience of water, began to break. In a fury of chaos, surged forward, sweeping across the valley. The fit was monumental. Water surged into every nook and cranny, washing away bones and habitats. Animals filled and panicked from the transformation of the valley. Felix was heartbroken and scared, watched as the world he loved submerged underwater. In the aftermath of the flood, there was once a vibrant valley, but now is unrecognizable. The forest once had thrived, a vast lake now lay, shimmering water. Felix felt hit. It's weird when you get tongue-tied and you just can't.
Is this old or no?
That's old. That's from
Okay.
when you were on the phone and muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And then I just decided to. I don't know. Felix felt a weight in his heart as he seen the confusion despite his friends. And despair written on his friends. It was him that he realized. Wow, it's weird how once you get off track, you cannot get back on track.
Yeah, it's really hard to get back on track.
Yeah. Okay. Determined to make amends, Felix led the remaining animals in the valley and developed a plan. They would work together to rebuild the homes and restore the ecosystem. Felix shared his knowledge of construction and engineering, and soon the animals were working hand in hand, foraging a new path to creation and smaller natural wetland areas. With time and teamwork, the valley began to heal. Streams flowed naturally once again, and the pockets of green returned to the landscape. Felix leaned into the importance of balance in nature and value of his community. In honoring of both his words and his vision, he needs his friends. He found a way to reform the connection that floodwaters threaten to destroy. And that is the story.
Bravo.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you. That was a story about a beaver named Felix that flooded the planet.
How dare Felix? It sounds like a few people I've heard about, but wow, we 98 minutes.
That's an hour and a half.
Yeah, my head hurts.
Should we just call it?
I think so, because as much as I want to keep going, my voice is like sort of starting to hurt a lot.
I don't think Brick Eater is still here. Are you here, Brick Eater? We'll eat your bricks. Are you talking about Lego bricks or like cement bricks?
I hope cement bricks,
Yeah.
'cause that's badass.
Yeah. I hope Lego breaks because that's dangerous. Either one's probably pretty dangerous.
Both are pretty dangerous, I'd say.
That was actually a lot more fun than I thought, even though that randomly happened. I think we even planned that.
No, I don't think so. You just told me to make, to do a story because I was there.
Yeah,